Hello, you. How was your weekend? I spent mine watching a little bit too much Sherlock Holmes. I just can't help it. I love a good mystery. And it made me think that that's a little bit what we're talking about now is mysteries. And the thing about mysteries is that they always have an explanation. Just because you don't know what it is doesn't mean that there isn't an explanation, doesn't mean that there isn't an answer to the mystery. It just means that you have to follow the clues to get there. And that's a little bit like what we've been talking about the big questions in life, because they are really big mysteries. Where did we come from? Why are we here? What are we doing? Does any of it matter? Those are really big mysteries. And if there is a mystery, then there's got to be an answer behind the mystery. We can't just throw it out because we don't know what the answer is. We follow the clues to get to the answer. So that's a little bit of what we're going to be doing next. Last week we looked at sort of the criteria that our answer probably ought to have. It ought to be able to make sense to us intellectually and resonate with us emotionally. It also is something that should be able to account for humanity, for who we are as mankind, who we are as societies, and who we are as people, and who we are as us, who I am as me. Because the big answers have got to be able to relate to me, just like they've got to be able to relate to you, or else how can they be legit? How can they be real? So as we move forward, we're going to start looking at clues, and we're going to follow the clues to see where they lead us. Now, this is going to require kind of an open mind and a willingness to say, okay, I'm going to kind of throw out all maybe the preconceived notions I've had before. I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to start looking at what we find, because I think if we examine the reality that we do know, it's going to help us understand maybe the reality that we don't know. And there's kind of the first big fork in the road that we come to is, well, basically, is there something besides ourselves, or is there nothing besides ourselves? Are we simply the result of chance, of random chance, and there's no purpose behind it all? Or is there some intentionality in the universe? Is there something or someone behind all of the things that we see and all of the things that we feel? So again, we're going to look at the realities that we do know in order to help us discover a little bit about the realities that we don't know, the answers to the big mysteries, the answers to the big questions. Now, something to keep in mind is that a lot of people, and we're going to look at science, but I just want to talk a little bit about what science is equipped to do and what it's not equipped to do. So let's take the example of, let's say I'm driving down the street and all of a sudden light comes in and it hits the retina in my eye, and a neuron fires and a message goes all the way across the neurons and the dendrites and the axons and my nerves and jumps across the synapses into my brain, and then it goes all the way down. It's going to go all the way down to my leg and to my foot and to my toes until the muscle fibers in my feet contract and they press down and the car stops. Well, that's a great explanation of telling me how I stopped the car. But it's not going to tell me anything about why I stopped the car. You see, science is wonderful for a lot of things and explains a lot of how, but it doesn't often explain a lot of why. The big why questions tend to fall in the realm of philosophy and in religion. Those are things that are going to be able to give us the reasons behind things. Science gives us how things work. And to be able to make the statement of there's nothing besides us, just random chance, is just as much a statement of faith as there is something behind us, there's purpose. Both of them are statements of faith, and both of them are going to require for us to, again, look at the clues, follow the clues, come to the end of the mystery and see what we find and see what we discover. But that's going to take, it's going to take a while. You see, a lot of people can hear something and just have one or two reasons to believe, and I'm afraid that I got to have a lot of reasons. I need to think through things. I was that kid that was always asking why. Who is that? And why is he here? And what's he doing? And my mother would make up answers when I was 3 because I would ask about everything. But I need to know. I need a lot of reasons. And so I called the project 82 Believe because we're going to go through like 80 reasons why I believe what I do. But I'm The whole point is to give you the opportunity to examine what you think about things and what reasons you have to follow the clues and to interpret them. Remember how we're going to interpret the signs? We're going to interpret them intellectually and emotionally. So this is just this is how we're going forward, is we're going to start looking at what we do know to see how those clues lead us to what we don't know. So again, the big forks in the road, there's more than just us, there's nothing but us. So that's the first big thing to keep in mind as we start looking at the different clues, as we start following the clues. So I'm excited. I also have realized that it might be a little overwhelming to do this every day, so we're going to switch to 3 days a week, so I hope you don't mind. But I'm really looking forward to it because it means that we can dive in and get real deep about stuff. So I hope you're doing okay. I really do. And I'm looking forward to spending this time together with you. And I love you, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday.